If you want to know the real reason I made this video, stick around to the end. True or false? Is school uniform wearing ACDC guitarist Angus Young secretly a jazz player? Guilty of employing chromatic approach note techniques to covertly jazz up his rock solos. The evidence in support of this allegation stems from a live performance where the UK-born guitarist is soloing over on Broadway a tune made famous by the legendary George Benson.
See the neon lights on Broadway.
As the viewer, you now bear the burden of judgment. Has Mr. Young committed a breach of musical contract, the unspoken agreement between performer and audience that the artist will deliver what has been tacitly agreed beforehand? Pure rock and roll, ergo free of any jazz content. Did he knowingly deceive his audience by inserting non-diatonic notes that have no officially sanctioned place within the heavy metal genre, even though cleverly disguised in plain view by his trademark robust, distorted sound? More seriously, have his fans become victims of sonic fraud, unknowingly exposed to chromatic contamination? If so, there may be grounds for damages, emotional, musical, and cultural. The accusation is serious and substantial. Please examine the evidence carefully and render your verdict. So here is the musical exhibit in question on Broadway. On first hearing, it sounds like a pretty cool sounding burst of notes. However, on closer scrutiny, one particular advanced jazz improvisational concept is clearly being employed, called approach note technique, where chord tones are approached, surrounded and embellished by chromatic notes. Not to mention ending the line with a phrase that has been stolen from saxophonist bebop legend Charlie Parker. In order for you, the jury, to fully comprehend the nature and severity of the charges, it is both appropriate and necessary to present a brief Approach Note 101 tutorial to establish the technical basis of the alleged offense. Introduction to Approach Notes. Question: what is approach note technique? Very simply, you have target chord tones and notes that approach them. These approach notes can be from above or below the target tone. Here, for further understanding, I would like the court to listen to chromatic approaches being applied to the F minor pentatonic scale. The target notes of the pentatonic scale are in red. I now reintroduce Exhibit 1 for your examination, with the target notes marked in red, outlining an indisputable A dominant ninth chord, and the incriminating chromatic jazz notes highlighted in blue, which form the basis of the present allegation. The recording has been slowed down to aid comprehension. We now turn to Exhibit 2, later in the solo, during the section where the underlying harmony modulates upward by a semitone to B-flat major. The melodic line executed by Mr. Young at this juncture clearly references the B-flat dominant bebop scale, and the phrasing bears a striking resemblance to motifs frequently employed by renowned ace jazz trumpeter Randy Brecker, who himself seems to have flirted with heavy metal at some stage. Damningly, Mr. Young appears to have intentionally disguised these chromatic intrusions by executing them at high velocity, fast 16th note passages delivered under the assumption that at such speed the average listener would be unable to detect the jazz content. Under rock law, this constitutes a premeditated act of stylistic subterfuge, an intentional deviation from the artist's established genre, designed to deceive an audience under the false pretense of pure rock performance. Okay, as you may have realized, the Broadway video of Angus Young playing chromatic jazz notes is faked. I apologize unreservedly if you feel deceived. I myself was totally taken in by the editing, sound production and everything when I first saw this video. The real playing here is by incredibly talented French guitarist Richard Daudet, who dubbed his own improvised phrases onto the images of Angus Young and ACDC. Being a jazz fan myself, I liked the idea of a famous rock, heavy metal musician like Angus Young condimenting his lines with chromatic approaches. As well, it tickled my fancy to think of Angus Young in his hotel room quietly studying jazz instead of the usual expected debauchery associated with metal bands. Let me know in the comments if you think it acceptable and desirable to add bits of jazz into rock solos, or if you think it is important to stick into your lane in the genre of your choice. By the way, if anyone wants to go deeper into chromatic approaches, check out these resources. The links are in the description. And yes, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, which encourages me to make more content. And now I want to tell you why I made the video. I used to be very unsure and insecure. I always used to ask other people's opinions about my new songs, about my mixes, my sound and ideas, etc. I'm here to tell you that that is bull. That the only way to freedom is not to worry about the good opinion of others. So think and decide for yourself. There are loads of reasons why I should not publish this video. It's fake, it's frivolous, etc, etc. But I wanted to, and I had fun doing it, and that is enough. So thanks for watching.